Hi everyone, this is Brian Hayes and welcome to a tutorial where we explore basic maintenance for the saxophone. This is not a video on how to become a professional repair person. This is a video for players who can do some simple things to extend the life and the quality of their saxophone through its playing life. I've got the alto saxophone here today, but the same rules apply right across the saxophone family. The first thing we need to do is keep our instrument clean. Our perspiration through our fingers when we play and our hands can be quite acidic to the saxophone lacquer. So depending on the chemical composition of your perspiration when you play, you might find that your sweat will rapidly eat through the lacquer and damage the lacquer. So the simple solution is have a good quality cleaning cloth in your case, and at the end of every major practice session, before you put the saxophone away for the day, make sure that you try to wipe off all of the fingerprints that your hands have left on the saxophone. Keep the saxophone as dry and clean as you can on the outside. Now, not every day, but on a periodic basis, it's a good idea to apply a lacquer polish. Yamaha make a great one, and that's it here, Yamaha lacquer polish. It's a liquid, you put that on a cleaning cloth, and then you wipe the saxophone. You'll find it'll bring the finish right back up to like an as-new look. It's a cheap and effective way to really keep the outside of your saxophone as clean as possible. Now, with respect to the pads, there's a great little product, BG put it out. You could make your own, but this is just a microfiber cloth that's cut in a really useful shape for putting under woodwind keys, saxophone keys. So if we look here at the high F key, these palm keys have often got a lot of moisture under them, and you'll find that they'll stick. So this is a great little solution where you put the cloth under the key and then put a little bit of pressure on the key and pull the cloth out. What it does is it dries the pad and it dries the tone hole that the pad sits against, and also pulls away any dirt that's been sitting on the tone hole and on the pad. Fantastic accessory for every saxophone player to have, because sticky keys is one of the most frustrating things for a player. So we've spoke about keeping the outside of the saxophone clean and dry. Keeping the inside is a little more challenging. I like to use these products here. This is a pad saver, and if I put that down the saxophone, you can see it fits the full length of the body of the saxophone. Now, these come out in the 1980s, and when they're called pad savers, and when they were first introduced, the idea was you would do what I've just done now, put the pad saver in the sax and leave it there. But wisdom of the maintenance people around the world have now suggested that's not a good idea, and I can understand why, because all of the wet moisture that this pad saver has absorbed, you don't want that sitting inside of the instrument, just percolating in your case. So the current thinking with these is insert them, pull them out, keep them away from the saxophone. It's certainly a very efficient way to clean the inside of your saxophone and keep it dry. With the bell, of course, you can just put a cleaning cloth rag in and just try and tip any moisture out, and then just try and wipe the bell using a cleaning cloth. Similarly, with the neck of your saxophone, you can buy a neck saver. The same type of concept. You just insert that fluffy stick inside of the neck, push it right in, and then pull it right out. And it's a tight fit, so it's a good clean of the inside of your neck. But again, don't leave it sitting inside the neck. Of course, on the neck of all saxophones, there is cork. And maintaining cork is very important by using a little bit of cork grease. Every time you put your mouthpiece on, just put a little bit of cork grease on that cork, and you'll find that it won't dry out and chip and crack anywhere near as quickly as if you try to put your mouthpiece on a dry piece of cork. It will literally tear and just chip off. Of course, when you put your mouthpiece on, it's a spinning motion, not a pushing in. Always twist your mouthpiece on and twist it off. Keeping your mouthpiece clean is really critical for your own health, because if you've got a cold or the flu and you're blowing into the mouthpiece and the germs are just building up in your mouthpiece. So when you finish playing for the day, run your mouthpiece under cold water. I like to use a brush in the mouthpiece, and this one here, this is a brass valve, a trumpet valve brush, but I like to just put that in and just give it a good clean while the water's running, have the water running there, and just really give that a really good brush out on the inside of the mouthpiece. A standard trumpet, B-flat trumpet valve brush is fantastic for alto and tenor saxophone mouthpieces. Dry your mouthpiece with just a piece of lint-free cloth. A men's cotton handkerchief is as good as anything. Do the same with your reed. I use synthetic reeds, but no matter what reed you're doing, run it under cold water, dry off any saliva or muck that's accumulated on the reed. Don't forget the ligature. The ligature's in the firing line. When it's on the mouthpiece there, if you play with a lot of saliva, you'll find that the saliva will run around the reed and it'll run into the front of the ligature and potentially corrode the ligature. So again, run it under water, keep it dry it off. It's also a good idea to periodically put some key oil on all of the friction points of your saxophone, all of the joints where metal to metal are rubbing. Don't ever put the oil on the pads or the felts or the corks, just on the joints where the metal rods meet their counterparts. Maybe once every 4 or 6 months is enough, depending on how you play. And when you do oil it, remember to work the oil in. Make sure you get your saxophone professionally serviced at least once a year, and more often as required. A professional service person has all of the right tools, all of the right experience, and all of the correct replacement parts to keep your saxophone playing as new. Hi everyone, this is Brian Hayes. I hope you enjoyed today's product demonstration video. If you did, you've joined the millions of viewers who have benefited from my YouTube channel. Can I ask you to do 2 things, please? If you're not already a subscriber to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. That way you'll be informed every time a new video is posted, and you'll join the growing number of interested people all around the world learning more about music and enjoying making music their own way. Secondly, if you are in a position to do so, can I ask you to consider making a donation towards the cost of producing these music videos? It's simple and secure. It uses PayPal. You can find a Make a Donation link from the home page on this site under Home About. And there's also a donation link in the text description of each and every video. Rest assured that all monies received will be reinvested into making this channel the best, most informative, free music channel for multi-instrumentalists on the internet. Thank you and bye for now.